Now, the rest of the story.
He likes me.
Well, we just did another one of our nightly feedings. Everybody's doing all right. Like I said, these guys are kind of the rougher lookings of the group, largely because it's leaning more towards the older side of the bunch. Like, just by looking at her, she's seen some miles. But everybody gets super friendly when there's a little bit of grain in the bunk. As you can tell by the little adventure with me, he was all right until they came a running. So he's got a kung fu grip on my arms. He ain't gonna let go. Mr. Bull, this was a spring purchase. He's the newest addition for these guys, and we'll be looking, well, the plan is at least one more, if not two more bulls next spring. I think Rocky might be heading to work at McDonald's, unfortunately, but that's his life. And as long as the one white face I have keeps throwing amazing sized steers, I'm not going to worry about it too much. For the most part, we're winding down on grass out in the pastures, and the crops themselves have really moved on. Well, Blue 67 is still showing signs of heat, but I know Charlie has addressed that a time or three. Some of the corn is still hanging on, but you can definitely see the lighter spots of the field are dried out. Yeah? Yeah?
Hi.
You say hi? Who's that? Get your finger out your nose. You say hi? Now he's camera shy. That's fine. Keeping up on the minerals and salt for everybody, so they're really not getting too carried away with that. I'm gonna go through and pour them again here before too long. But yeah, later in the season, we haven't had a whole lot for rain other than what they're calling for tonight. They're calling for 2 days worth of rain coming up starting tonight, and it's supposed to rain until Sunday, and might help out the grass a little bit. I mean, we've been staying pretty warm. 80s, I think, is been the highs for this whole past week, and I don't think it's supposed to cool off for a little while yet. But September is kind of, you get a lot of the fluctuations and the heat forecast. But somebody just got a boot to the face because she snorted at me when I went to go dump the grain in. See? Somebody's got that wrong back there too. I don't know. Oh well. But again, they're really not getting a whole lot out of this. 2 buckets, but as far as that goes, it's keeping them somewhat tame. I'm gonna say I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna say her mom is the really docile one. This one's mother is the one that, she was my second oldest cow of the group. Calvin, what's she doing? And this is Blue 63 is actually one of my bigger cows, where I like the framing, I like the temperament of her. Calvin's a little unsure, but we get a bigger herd bull throwing some bigger framed calves. She is definitely going to be in with him for next year, and so year after next, looking for some bigger size calves. I mean, this guy and Rocky were in with this group this summer. He's not so much a calving ease bull. He's right at 70, I believe. My actual calving ease bulls I bought were high 50s. Way too small for really producing decent sized framed feeder calves, but I had a lot of smaller framed heifers this year. See, and this is the kind of stuff I like, where they're content. So definitely, she's an older cow. She was actually a purchased cow from Herschel and Myrna. That's startup money. Yeah. What's she doing? So, I really don't know what this one's deal is. If I really thought she was going to be a problem, I wouldn't have Calvin out here. But I think a lot of it was I wasn't dumping the grain fast enough. Get the excited expressions. But she's actually got a sister, 63, 62. Blue 62 is out on grass. She looks almost identical to Blue 63. She is what little bit remains of my fall herd. As in, she's the only one of my fall calving cows. A little bit of a waste of a cow, because I'm not going to get rid of her, because frame and temperament, just like I told you. Going to let her calve this fall, which she's due mid-October, and she's got a heifer in her, because when we preg checked her, you could tell she was a heifer because he ultrasounded her. I'll keep the heifer because the mom is, those are the genetics I'm leaning more towards. I don't want a whole bunch of huge cows, but I definitely don't want a bunch of 900 to 1,000 pound cows either. 1,000 pounds and above is what I'd prefer. Really struggling to get this locked here, Calvin. There we go. Get somebody's bottle. I'll keep the heifer calf because I want it. And then the cow, I'm not going to dump the bulls back in here this fall, so that cow will be turned into a spring calver, because then I'll hold her until next summer and then let the bulls in with her. So I've been all over the board today, but I figure you guys, the people that like watching for the cows, can at least see the cows again. Been on the low maintenance side of them over the summer, which is generally what everybody wants anyway, and we start hauling everybody back home. We'll be feeding them a bit more heavier, but I haven't actually put in bales now for a week, so we're sitting pretty good on that front, and more or less just cleaning up any pink eye cases that are still lingering. So if I actually had to say I had a baby cow in here, the pet is definitely her. Number 40, you guys didn't get any video of it, but Calvin was actually throwing ears of corn to him earlier. So I think that's largely what you're seeing. All the cows that got all the ears earlier, 66, 40, 63, number 80, they got the majority of all the ears. Largely just because they're bullies. We need to go collect your sister. All right? Well, until next time, guys, I'll talk to you later.